I don't know if we should target. We should find the agent who sold Kai Havertz to us, and then do some violence.
Ask for refund.
Ask for refund. We should do that.
An issue. I think Liverpool might have the chance of winning the league. I think they might finish over Man City.
इसका कर दो आप choice.
Yeah. Why not? I back Liverpool actually.
Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of DESI Football Banter. Presented by घर का पानी and घर का बना चाय. ठीक है? These are our brand sponsors for today. Hopefully not for long. क्योंकि we have on the panel our very own Desi NRI, Divyansh, who is a gunner or a gooner, we can say, and Arman, who is a new guest, who is a Spurs fan. We'll start with Divyansh and then we'll go on to Arman. Just brief introductions, guys.
Okay, so I'm Divyansh. Thank you for introducing me, Vivek. I been an Arsenal fan for about 20 years. I started watching. I think my first match was the FA Cup final, and that's when I think Arsenal beat Manchester United on penalty. Since yes, for over 20 years now. Most of it has been painful, but things are getting better now. So glad to be here.
Sorry, yeah, Arman, yeah, go on.
I think it's net.
All right.
This usually happens to Spurs, so it's okay.
Yeah,
man,
guys,
go on.
Arman, I support Tottenham Hotspur, as you can see. Probably the worst club in London, but we move. Yeah. The first game I ever watched was the Champions League group stage match. I think I remember. It was against Inter Milan in 2011. We lost, but yeah, since then I've been supporting Spurs.
Right. So how does it feel? मतलब तू जहाँ पे अभी पढ़ाई कर रहा है या फिर तेरे फ्रेंड्स लोग मतलब वो सब स्पर्स को फॉलो करते हैं या फिर they're all United, Chelsea, City या अभी?
No. I don't think I've ever seen a Spurs fan like in real life.
Okay.
I actually haven't. In India, no.
It's catching on. It's catching on, I guess, slowly. अभी धीरे-धीरे तो कुछ साल में अभी न्यूकैसल के फैंस भी आ जाएंगे अभी, है ना?
Yeah.
They are doing well, just to say. Okay.
Very well.
Yeah. And मेरे को नहीं लगा था कि एडी हाउ का इन्फ्लुएंस इतना अच्छा रहेगा करके, बट अब देख लो मतलब प्लेयर्स लाइक जमाल लसाल्स, हु इज द कैप्टन ना, सेंटर बैक है, डैन बर्न, मिगेल एल्मिरॉन, जेकब मर्फी, तो ये लोग को वो लेके चैंपियंस लीग में वो लोग भी खेल के फोड़ रहे हैं यार, मतलब which speaks volumes of their progress, isn't it? Considering the fact कि उसमें उन्होंने मतलब they brought in 3-4 very good players, जैसे ईजैक हो गया या फिर ब्रूनो गुमारेश हो गया एंड बॉटमैन, ट्रिपियर, तो एडिशंस भी काफ़ी अच्छे रहे हैं उनके. दो जन यहाँ पे हैं जो कि आर्सेनल फैंस हैं, मी इंक्लूडेड. सो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज टू एवरीवन बेसिकली एंड स्पेशली दिव्यांश, कैन आर्सेनल रियली चैलेंज फॉर द टाइटल and other major honors this season?
I definitely think Arsenal can challenge. They've started well. If you have a look, last season they were definitely not in the running in the beginning of the season, but then the amazing season that they had, very commendable, but unfortunately fell through short. But after that, they've done some good investment. They've bought some really good players. At the moment, when I see them, the team, I feel, doesn't look that fluid, doesn't feel that... It's not as attacking, but I see more control. They have a good squad. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see where they get. But I'm optimistic. I think they're at a level where they can definitely challenge. Whether they win or not is a different story.
Right. And आप लोगों को मतलब लगता क्या है कि ये सीजन में क्या what is Arsenal lacking basically? क्योंकि द वे दैट वी वर प्लेइंग लास्ट ईयर, तो वो स्मूथनेस अभी मेरे को थोड़ा कहीं पे लैग लग रहा है ना? इट्स लैक, द टीम इज लैकिंग, इजंट इट? वो फ्लूइडनेस.
I personally think that Arsenal are not dominating games like more this season. Last season, from the get-go, I think the first game was Crystal Palace last season. They started off like crazy. They were fluid. They kept the ball, and with the ball, they were creating more chances. This season, they haven't like really got to up to pace yet. I would say Martinelli, Saka. Saka is doing well, but without Jesus, I think that's a big loss this season. It's been, and even in the midfield, I would say Havertz hasn't really done anything. If Partey was to come back, I think Arsenal would be back to its best.
बट आई थिंक पार्टी इज आउट फॉर द सीजन. मैंने कल ही न्यूज़ चेक कर रहा था तो उसमें देखा कि ही इज अंडरगोइंग
Is he
सम
out for
काइंड
the season?
ऑफ या इज अंडरगोइंग सम काइंड ऑफ अ सर्जरी, थाई सर्जरी, कुछ कुछ तो उसको हुआ है. पता नहीं. दिस इज द सेम यूजुअल केस विद आर्सेनल, इजंट इट? मतलब अच्छे प्लेयर्स आते हैं एंड दे कीप गेटिंग इंजर्ड time and time again.
No, I think like Divyan said, the control is there for sure. But I think this madness, the fluency is not there. Okay, I think the goals, the last season when I was watching, I thought the goal was coming the next moment, the next
Exactly.
minute, the next.
Very true.
But I don't think so. That's coming this time. There's something that is missing. I don't know what is it because I'm not critically evaluating Arsenal. But even if you check, I think against Newcastle they didn't score. I think against many decent teams they just scored 1 or 2 goals. I think earlier it would have been 3 to 4, according to me. But the good thing for Arsenal now is I think the next 6-8 games are like all winnable games. I mean, no challenge wala games. I think after 9th game will be Liverpool. So till then, if they can actually win all the games, I think that's when they can mount a little bit of pressure on Man City. I think now I was hoping Spurs or Arsenal are going to be overtaking Man City, but with the loss last weekend, I gave up. Now it's only Man City, and then it's fight for the second place. It's either Arsenal or Spurs.
Really?
I think City have difficult games coming up. I think the next
but-
match is Chelsea, and the one after that is Liverpool. So
Yeah, but
You guys
But-
don't
but
see
cross they lose.
you guys don't
But I
foresee
think-
Liverpool challenging for the title this year?
Absolutely, I think Liverpool are in the title race. Absolutely, they've only lost one game. They have the depth.
yeah, but
Yeah, I think they can go all the way actually this season.
एसपी तेरे को
think
क्या
the
लगता है कि
platform
मतलब
of
फॉर सिटी, मतलब आप लोग जैसे खेल रहे हो एंड नोइंग कि आप लोग का टीम का जैसे
ठीक है,
पोटेंशियल है, राइट? कि मतलब वंस केडीबी इज बैक एंड अभी देखो ना डोकू आ गया फॉर्म में, ठीक है? एंड वी ऑल नो व्हाट पेप कैन डू एंड व्हाट हालांड कैन डू एंड व्हाट ऑल बेसिकली व्हाट रेस्ट ऑफ द टीम कैन डू, एंड एक बार वो क्लिक करके तो दे जस्ट गो ऑन अ स्ट्रीक, 10 गेम 12 गेम 15 गेम वो चलता रहेगा. तो अभी केडीबी आउट है तो मेरे को लग रहा था कि मतलब दूसरे टीम्स मतलब थोड़ा बेनिफिट लेंगे उससे, बट ऐसा हो नहीं रहा है.
हाँ, लेकिन इवन लास्ट एपिसोड आई टोल्ड कि मतलब केडीबी से बहुत ज्यादा दिल मिस केडीबी प्लस गुंडोगन नॉट बीइंग देयर. Gundogan is that somehow is that man, like in 2019-20 season, I think we were 8th in the Christmas break, and then suddenly Gundogan starts playing like the captain he is, and he scores, he converts, and we came to the top of the table from 8 there. And that is where I realized that Gundogan was that element, just keeping things even when one player is down and out. Now that he moved out, Rodri will, of course, like that place is up for grabs. Anyone wants to be there. Rodri is trying. He was playing. He got injured, and then Man City lost 2 matches, and then he's back and it's working. Doku is too young.
Yeah.
He's very young to show that consistent form, like 4 assists in 1 match. Yeah, definitely commendable. But we'll have to have a stable Gundogan replacement till KTB comes back, and that is where City will need to. So, like, there's a psychological thing also. Like any team facing City has that psychological thing कि भाई ये team जीत सकती है. And despite that they lose. So you'll see when they win 6-0, 5-0, 4-0, and when they lose, that also will happen with a team that's not top of the table.
Right.
So both of these things happen, and once we have that scary factor like Gundogan coming in and being set, then City will be back to that runs they do, like those 10 match winning runs,
So-
12 match winning runs.
Yeah. So according to you, whom do you see as the biggest threat for you? मतलब जो कि मतलब तुम लोग से अपना टाइटल डिफेंस मतलब छीनने का पोटेंशियल रखता है.
Got it. So I think, see, I also believe in patterns, and patterns suggest that Liverpool के लिए हर alternate year is crazy,
Right.
and they have shown promise in the beginning. I think that one match which they lost, if we just keep that out, coming down from 2 men down to winning a match, Liverpool is a scary team.
Right.
So that, and like Arsenal, while I feel last year they were crazy scary. Okay, this year when they lost to Newcastle, something like Kishore is saying, I think something's missing. I don't know what it is, but Arsenal was scarier for me in last year.
Yeah.
Where I think,
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
yeah,
go
so
on.
it is the point where I was like कि I was talking to every fan and I was telling them कि भाई Arsenal का ये क्या form है. इस बार तो I think Arsenal will definitely win. and it was only the Arsenal fans who were like कि नहीं हमने ये पहले देखा. This is not our first time we have seen, and देखना end होते होते they'll definitely be second, third. They were the only people who were believing कि Arsenal will mess up. But then they were also saying that कि Invincible से भी better winning streak चल रहा है अभी. That this year has not happened. The numbers were there ना, like Invincibles में जैसे वो win percentage.
But Arsenal last year यूरोप में था नहीं ना, या था क्या?
हाँ last year
They were in Europa League.
यूरोपा लीग में, okay, right. उसके पहले वाला में, yeah.
But for Spurs to challenges, I'll just say कि थोड़ा और time देना पड़ेगा. Like they've just had their first defeat, and it has caused like a suspension also.
Madison भी out है, long term injury.
Madison भी out है.
Yeah.
I think for Spurs, the thing is, this season is basically a rebuilding season. It's not. I think no one thought that Spurs was ever going to challenge for the title from the start. It was always like,
no one still
rebuild. Okay,
yeah. So which brings me to sorry Arman, you were saying something.
Yeah. What I was saying is the season is a rebuild season. I hope we can basically get a few more signings in January, which will potentially make us stronger and we can finish in the top 4.
So who
that is the basic aim.
मतलब तुमको क्या लगता है कि whom is Spurs going to target in January? मतलब प्रायोरिटी क्या है, मिडफील्ड है या अटैकर्स है?
Centre back. It's centre back. Centre back चाहिए ही चाहिए.
You have Eric Dyer, no?
I think
Eric Dyer है ना, वो संभाल लेगा सब.
No. He's not good enough. He's championship level. I personally think Leverkusen, with the way they are playing, a lot of their centre backs are really good. There's a person called Hincapi and Tabsoba.
Hincapi.
I think we should be going for those.
Leverkusen अच्छा कर रहा है क्योंकि जाका वहाँ पे चला गया इसीलिए.
Yeah.
That brings me, actually, I wanted to ask you, Vivek, like, nobody talks about this. I've seen it online.
Yeah.
But I feel that Xhaka is a big miss because they've got Havertz instead of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is not working for some reason. I feel like maybe we didn't give him the credit and the props.
True.
And as part of, the fluidity, like a couple of people here have mentioned, I feel he brought that to the team. He has a sense of leadership as well.
Yes.
Which I feel hasn't been adequately replaced.
Yeah, it's the right point. I think Xhaka was, the guy.
The last season especially.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I think
the thing with Xhaka is कि मतलब उसने जितने भी आर्सेनल मैनेजर्स के अंडर खेला है ना, तो he was their number 1 pick.
Very true.
Which comes as a shock to many, but this is a fact. मतलब वो उनाई एमरी हो गया, वेंगर हो गया, या फिर फ्रेडी लुम्बर्ग भी बीच में कैटेगरी मैनेजर था, एंड इवन अटेटा. तो ये चारों मैनेजर्स ना, they knew what he could do, and even Jose Mourinho tried to मतलब sneak him into Roma, right? वो भी नहीं हो पाया. तो एंड वी ऑल नो व्हाट Xhaka कैन डू. उसके पास मतलब एक किलर लेफ्ट फुट है, लॉन्ग शॉट्स ले सकता है, ठीक है, एंड फायरी भी है, अग्रेसिव है. तो दैट स्पंक वाला फैक्टर ना, दैट वो था उसमें.
Definitely.
So, and I
the
think
aggressive presence is very important, actually.
Yes,
the aggressive presence that Xhaka offers in the midfield.
Yes,
like,
and I think Arteta missed a trick here कि when he sold him, मतलब जब Xhaka गया तो we all brought in Rice thinking कि he was a cover for Xhaka, मतलब not cover, replacement basically, and he was not meant to be the holding midfielder. मतलब he उसको advanced role में उसको वो खिलाना चाह रहा था. Because
number 6.
Yeah. Because the midfield 3, ideal midfield 3 for Arsenal क्या है? B. ओडेगार्ड है सामने, उसके बाजू में है राइस, एंड पीछे है थॉमस पार्टे. तो दिस इज द आइडियल मिडफील्ड. तो पार्टे अभी गया, ठीक है, ओडेगार्ड भी इंजर्ड है, तो राइस हैज टू डू ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज उसको करना रहता है, एंड उसके पीछे जॉर्जिनियो, व्हिच इज नॉट रियली वर्किंग. So that is the miss. And Kai Havertz को खरीदना was like a gamble, I feel, which till now has not worked. I think so they sold किसको, क्या नाम है वो अमेरिकन स्ट्राइकर था उसका, we sold him to Balogun. Yeah. So obviously if a team has to challenge for the title and other major honors, just Champions League हो गया, domestic cups वगैरह हो गया, तो you need at least 2 established forwards अपने टीम में होना चाहिए. तो हमारे टीम में एक है, which is Gabriel Jesus, ठीक है. तो दूसरा कौन है? एडी एनकेटिया इज लाइक 50-50, मतलब हाँ कभी खेल लेगा कभी नहीं खेल लेगा, मतलब उसके ऊपर इतना मतलब कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आता है. बट जब भी खेलता है ही गिव्स हिज ऑल, ठीक है. वो लास्ट पीएल गेम में उसने हैट्रिक मार लिया. लास्ट ईयर भी अगेंस्ट चेल्सी ही डिड रियली वेल. यूनाइटेड के अगेंस्ट 2 बार ही उसने मतलब स्कोर वगैरह किया हुआ है. बट ही रियली डज नॉट, यू डोंट फैंसी हिम इन द बिग गेम्स रियली, है ना. ही गोज मिसिंग.
He's a squad player.
Squad player basically, yeah. So when we sold Balogun, तो उसको लगा and knowing Arteta, he likes players who मतलब जो लोग ज़्यादा मतलब flexible हैं, who can play in multiple positions. जैसे कि मतलब चाहे वो डिफेंस में हो या फॉरवर्ड में हो या मिडफील्ड में हो. फॉर इंस्टेंस इफ यू से बेन वाइट, ही कैन प्ले राइट बैक, सेंटर बैक, ठीक है. एक्ब क्यूयोर लेफ्ट बैक खेल सकता है, सेंटर बैक खेल सकता है. जिनचेंको लेफ्ट बैक मिडफील्ड में, ठीक है. एंड फेवियो बिएरा विंग में खेल सकता है एंड अटैकिंग मिड में खेल सकता है. स्मिथ रो सेम. मार्टिनेली इधर विंग, साका इधर विंग. ही इज अ स्ट्राइकर.
Put that formula on Havertz.
Yeah.
वो कहीं भी नहीं खेल सकता.
No, so that I think वो इसको इसीलिए लाया एज अ इमरजेंसी फॉरवर्ड ना, उसको वो खिला सकता है शायद, ठीक है. बिकॉज इन केस या उसको इसीलिए वो लाया, ठीक है. बट अभी वो कर क्या रहा है, ही इज ट्राइंग टू फिट हिम इनटू द मिडफील्ड, ठीक है. एंड दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉट वर्किंग. तो वो वहां से वो चांसेस बन ही नहीं रहे हैं मिडफील्ड से.
I think this is the right point, and that's why the fluency is missing.
Yes.
I think the crux of the matter is the midfield, and I think with Odegaard and Smith Rowe, there was always this attacking wala midfield.
Yeah.
Okay, and this SAKA guy was actually covering it up. I think he was giving his 120% aggressively.
Final third में भी जा रहा था, right? Score वगैरह करने के लिए.
So he was there. I think that's where the movement was there, and also Partey. I think he held the ball nicely and he used to pass, and also. I think this is something that is missing, and if it's missing, it's good for us. Then there won't be much goals.
I think if Arsenal really want to challenge for the title seriously, I think in January they have to try signing Ivan Toney. I think he will fit Arsenal perfectly in the striker role.
I think rumors चल रहा है अभी Ivan Toney का, but अभी क्योंकि थॉमस पार्टी अभी आउट है, तो they'll be prioritizing a midfielder, I guess, because लोकोंगा signing didn't work. तो he is मतलब अभी लुटन टाउन में अभी लोन पे है, तो वो उसका काम साइनिंग काम नहीं किया. एलनेनी तो है ही ऐसे ही, ठीक है. मोहम्मद एलनेनी मेरे को एक लगा कि ही मिस द ट्रिक. आर्टेटा इज बाय लोनिंग आउट किरण टियर्नी. उसको लोन पे नहीं भेजना चाहिए था. तो अभी क्योंकि अभी टिम्बर अभी इंजर्ड है, ठीक है. तो वंस यू नो कि भाई टिम्बर अभी इंजर्ड है, तो उसको रख लेना चाहिए था एज अ लेफ्ट बैक. वो खेल सकता था वहाँ पे. तो दैट माइट cost us in terms of squad depth. मेरे को ये लगा.
I think maybe the reasoning behind that is Kieran Tierney, like maybe he wanted, match time. Some players they want to play, and if you're not able to guarantee them that, they can add a sense of like disharmony in the group. So he wants people who are completely engaged and who want to come in and they don't bring a sort of a downer to the group. And I think the way he wants to play, Kieran Tierney is more of like an overlapping left back. Whereas if you notice Zinchenko, they want him to come to the middle, control midfield, players who are good on the ball. I've seen Tierney try to do that. He's not very natural. So I feel that that's why he let him go. But I agree with you. He's a very good player. But sometimes the very good players, they're not happy to be squad players. They want to play in the first 11.
And plus, he was not a Arteta signing as well, na?
Yeah, that's true as well.
But I think, like, from a point of view of like what is missing in Arsenal squad right now, strike someone to kar hi raha hai. I feel a midfield stability is something that can be added there. And from a midfielder point of view, if they will see, मतलब मुझे लग रहा है लीग के बाहर ही किसी को देख सकते हैं in probably from Bundesliga, because I don't know, I have a bias for that side. When like I'll see if when I used to see Bellingham there and when I used to see Jadon Sancho there, I was thinking that they somehow bring out the best in midfielders. So from there, if you could get someone, they don't sell generally, but if they do, I feel someone from that side would help the Arsenal team. I think specific players, of course, you could pinpoint there, but I always feel that the midfield they develop strong midfielders there.
दिवेश तेरे को क्या लगता है कि मतलब signing wise, whom should we sign? At least in Jan.
Yeah, in Jan, look, we've been linked with Ivan Toney. I think he's a good striker, and also like Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah, like they're not very like clinical goal scorers. Like
That's true.
they won't get you like 20, 25 goals a season. So I think somebody like that, somebody clinical. And the other thing with Gabriel Jesus is he's injured a lot of the times. Like he plays well 3-4 games, he gets into the momentum, and then he gets injured. And now again he'll come back. It'll take him 3-4 games. So Ivan Toney is one we would definitely get. I don't know if we should target. We should find the agent who sold Kai Havertz to us, and then do some violence.
Ask for refund.
Ask for refund. We should do that.
मतलब अभी बिल्कुल भी hope नहीं है.
Everywhere else, I think we are fine. Yeah, another thing is I feel Saka replacement because I feel they play him so much.
That's
So it's like it's impossible for somebody who's so young with that amount of pressure. Even your body can't handle every 3 days, 4 days. He gets kicked around a lot.
Yes.
So a left winger and maybe a striker would be good. And
I think that's why Ivan Toney is actually a really good signing, because if Ivan Toney was to come into the squad, Jesus necessarily wouldn't have to play striker. He could play right wing like he did for Man City. And he scored a lot of goals when he was playing right wing, and that would give Saka the rest he deserves.
But Ivan Toney hasn't kicked a ball in like for 3-4 months now, and Jan तक वो नहीं खेल सकता. He's banned, isn't he? तो मतलब
Yeah,
like signing a player for that huge amount of money, because Brentford तो उसको सस्ते में नहीं जाने वाला. मतलब they will
100 million.
Yeah, they will not sell him on the cheap now. तो इतना पैसा खर्च करके you are bringing in a player, we know he मतलब what he is capable of, ठीक है, but फॉर्म भी तो होना चाहिए ना, मैच फिटनेस भी वगैरह एक चीज है. You need to be playing regular games.
No, I think he's training with Brentford regularly. He's allowed to train since September. Yeah, he is training. And basically, why I think Ivan Toney will be the best signing is because for a counter-attacking Brentford side, if you can score 20 goals there, for a possession-based Arsenal team, he is bound to get 20-25 goals. That's what I think.
25 goals, okay.
25 goals. He got 20 goals last season in a Brentford side. He started all games, and Christian Eriksen and the Norwegian midfield they were all linking up well. He's a set piece specialist as well, and I think he'll be the perfect signing for Arsenal.
The biggest question you have to ask, Vivek, is can you bet on Ivan Toney? Because he is definitely betting.
I see what you did there, ठीक है. No betting. और टोनी को तो मतलब उसको दूर रखना चाहिए, उसके मतलब सब betting ये से.
I think that tarnishes a bit of like why we don't say it openly. उसका image थोड़ा tarnish होगा उससे.
Yes.
And then do decide that as well if they want to take it ahead.
And I think अभी उसको English team में भी उसको और नहीं लेने वाला है, I think, है ना, मतलब national side के लिए. और मतलब he already has one cap, no? English cap एक है ना already या नहीं है?
No, he's never been picked for England.
Achha.
He's never been picked for.
No, I thought he was.
I think he was in the running.
I'm
not sure if he's picked or not.
I think he played, but I'll have to check.
Okay. No, I think what Arman said was a valid point. With a position-based team like Arsenal, if he's bound to score more than 20-25 goals, and more importantly, unlike Jesus, he's not going to be injured most of the time. But maybe he's going to make headlines outside the football field also. But what you want is the guy who can actually score 20-25 goals, and I think this guy could be one, and he is. And I've watched him also. He's pretty good.
Right. So, my next question is on the goalkeeping situation. Okay. So, I don't know क्या फूंक के आता है मतलब साइनिंग वाइनिंग करते टाइम, स्पेशली व्हेन इट कम्स टू कीपर्स. उसके पास मार्टिनेज था पहले, एमी मार्टिनेज और लेनो थे, ठीक है. बोथ वेरी गुड कीपर्स इन देयर ओन राइट, एंड आई स्पेशली लव्ड एमी मार्टिनेज. मतलब उसने FA कप में करवाया, कम्युनिटी शील्ड करवाया, तो उसको रखना चाहिए था यार. एंड वो बटरफ्लाई इफेक्ट वाला मीम आप लोग ने सब देखा होगा, राइट? तो द नील मोपे एंड दैट बर्न लेनो का जो इंसिडेंट हुआ, so that spiraled एमी मार्टिनेज into a World Cup hero. That was the butterfly effect in motion. वो वाला मीम आप लोगों ने देखा है ना? So yeah. So he sold Emi Martinez, then he brought in Runarsson as a second choice keeper. Iceland का keeper था. That didn't work out.
I think Emi Martinez wanted to leave actually. He had been
he wanted to be number one. He wanted to be number one basically. And he was like नहीं मैं लेनो को चूज करेगा, मैं लेनो मेरा बंदा है करके. And लेनो the next season again वो भी निकाल दिया उसको. So Runarsson आया, उसको 2 बार लोन पे है, अभी भी लोन पे है वो. Then he brought in Ramsdale, रैमस्टेल को नंबर 1 कर दिया, लेनो चला गया 2 में, फिर लेनो को बेच दिया, फिर वो लाया इसको मैट टर्नर बोला कि नहीं, मैं एक सीज़न बहुत बेंच पे रहा, मेरे को एक भी मैच खेलने को नहीं मिला, मैं जा रहा हूँ, मेरे को फॉरेस्ट को भेज दो करके तो वो फॉरेस्ट चला गया, ठीक है। तो अभी एंड नाउ ही हैज़ ब्रॉट इन डेविड राया, एंड वी ऑल नो कि ही वांटेड टू साइन डेविड राया इंस्टेड ऑफ रैमस्टेल इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस बैक 2-3 years बैक. तो अभी अकॉर्डिंग टू यू गाइज, हु शुड बी द नंबर 1 कीपर फॉर आर्सेनल, एंड वेदर साइनिंग राया ऑन लोन, मतलब डज इट क्रिएट रियली एनी प्रॉब्लम फॉर अ टीम लाइक आर्सेनल, और मतलब क्या है, मतलब आप लोग को क्या लगता है? We'll start from Divyansh.
One thing I wanted to add actually.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I think in the recent press conference, Southgate personally told Ramsdale that if he's not starting by January, he's not going to be picked for England. Actually, there's no guarantee. And so
तो वैसे
on
भी
that
उसको नहीं
basis,
खिला
I
रहा है
think-
साउथगेट, तो उसको वैसे भी नहीं खिला रहा है साउथगेट, तो अपने खुद का अलग मतलब दुनिया में रहता है वो, उसके लिए मैगवायर, डायर, यही सब चाहिए उसको, रैशफोर्ड, लिंगार्ड, उसको यही उसका कैलिबर इतना ही है, ठीक है। जॉर्डन पिकफोर्ड हैज डन वेल बाय द वे, मतलब
No, Pickford deserves to be England number 1.
he has done
from
well for
England
the national
perspective, he's
team.
done really well.
Yeah.
He's done really well. Yeah.
तो we'll start with Divyansh. My question was कि
Yeah.
what do you make of the current goalkeeping situation in Arsenal? तो कौन नंबर 1 होना चाहिए, एंड क्या चल रहा है, राया को क्यों लाया, अभी क्यों खिला रहा है, एंड is he doing really well? तो क्या लगता है तेरे को?
Yeah, so my reading of the situation is, I thought Aaron Ramsdale was doing very well last season, and he was a good keeper. I know in some key moments last season he made a couple of big mistakes, and then when I found out about Raya, and then I was reading about कि उसके stats are very good. He's supposed to be one of the best keepers. Saves and all of that was very good, and then he bought him. But since I've seen Raya in the flesh, from my eyes, I don't see a very big jump. I've seen him very shaky at times. So
हाइट वाइज
and I
भी
think
दोनों
what
सेम ही है
Arsenal
ना,
does-
रैमस्टेल एंड राया, हाइट वाइज
What's
भी
that?
सेम ही है ना, मतलब हाइट वाइज
I think so.
है ना?
Height wise they're same. I think distribution में they say that Raya is a little bit, maybe these are things like real football experts can see that maybe us with the naked eye we can't recognize. He's able to see passes that Ramsdale is not. But I find him a little bit shaky. Like he has had too many shaky moments. And what it does is, now every press conference Arteta gets asked like, why did you do it? He just bought a problem. So generally, like a lot of pundits have said that between your number 1 and your number 2 there should be a significant gap in the skill. If it is so even, just every time somebody makes a mistake, the press will ask you, why did you get this guy, why don't you play the other person? I'm of the opinion that I feel Ramsdale will soon enough he will put in a transfer request and he will leave, or either Raya at the end of the season they won't extend his contract. But if they are playing Raya at the moment, I would continue to play with Raya.
Really? Okay.
If I will back the manager on his like he has not done something like a howler or something, but repeatedly. I know Kishore is here, but if he does like Onana kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
I was about to say he's not done a Onana as yet. So I
he's
think
not done. But Onana off late he's gotten better.
Come on, guys, come on. Chelsea game. The straight pass to. He
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
playing
He misread
terrible.
it basically.
He was.
That
this is the
was
critical evaluation we are missing. Good one, Arman.
वो एक्चुअली एक मिसरीडिंग था. दैट वाज द वन मिस्टेक आई थिंक ही डिड अपार्ट फ्रॉम, एंड वो न्यूकैसल वाला गेम में भी ही वाज एट फॉल्ट एट द गोल. वी विल कम टू दैट.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I want to ask Kishore, Arman, and SP. So we heard what Divyansh had to say on Raya versus Ramsdale. उसका take हम लोग ने सुना. तो आप लोगों को क्या लगता है, मतलब कौन नंबर 1 होना चाहिए for Arsenal कीपर वाइज,
No,
Raya
I think
or
it doesn't
Ramsdale?
make a difference. No, it doesn't make a difference according to me, because there's hardly any difference between the two. I think if they're saying the passing wala thing, I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen enough of Raya, but I think Ramsdale was pretty good. If he was making blunders, howlers, game after game, then I think there was a point of having Raya there. It's like, I think it's an uncalled wala situation. But like Divyan said, if the managers picked Raya, so maybe he's fitting the bill for him at least. So then I think you should continue. I don't think so Ramsdale should be even involved in this discussion.
Aman, तेरे को क्या
Unless
लगता
and
है?
until,
Yeah,
unless and
Kishore.
until
Yeah,
maybe-
go on.
Yeah, unless and until he blunders and all those things. The Newcastle one, maybe it could be a costly blunder because he was Arsenal were ahead of City. Now they're behind City. But yeah, maybe one mistake. I think still fine.
Yeah. अमान देखो क्या लगता है?
Yeah, I think Ramsdale should be starting for Arsenal. I
थैंक
don't
गॉड तू
rate
विकारियो
Raya
का
at
नाम
all.
नहीं बोला यार, नहीं तो बोलता है विकारियो को लेना चाहिए था.
नहीं, I think Ramsdale should be starting for Arsenal.
तूने
राइट.
क्या बोला?
I don't.
भिखारी? क्या बोला तूने?
विकारियो, विकारियो है ना इनका
अच्छा
कीपर.
अच्छा, मुझे भिखारी सुनाई दिया.
अरे
Sorry, sorry.
यार.
Yeah.
ऑल राइट.
Yeah.
एसपी तेरे को क्या लगता है? एसपी तो खाना खा रहा है यार. सही है यार. क्या खा रहा है? अरे
नहीं,
स्पॉन्सर्स वगैरह कुछ
Pomegranate.
मिला है क्या? कॉर्नफ्लेक्स वॉर्नफ्लेक्स कुछ
नहीं,
या?
बस स्टे हेल्दी बोलूंगा मैं
अच्छा,
कि पोमोग्रेनेट्स खाओ और जिंदा रहो.
ऐसा ही है यार.
हाँ.
हाँ तो तेरे
तो
को क्या लगता है,
I
मतलब राया या रैमस्टेल?
और आई फील राय की जरूरत नहीं थी, क्योंकि इट्स द सेम थिंग. लाइक अगर बीडीजी है तुम्हारे पास तो तुम्हें क्यों लेना है ओनाना? Like, are you saying that I'll just take someone who is a bit superior than this keeper, and I'll replace him? Because you're paying money for that, right? You're taking them on loan, and when you do that, you probably should have something which your team needs, कोई skill. मुझे नहीं लगता Ramsdale was effing up in any way. He was playing games really well, and he is ramping up. Even in the time when Arsenal started, their fall last season, तभी Ramsdale was not much at fault. I personally feel. So a bit unnecessary, but once they have already taken a loan, he has to take a call. He has to choose one, and the other one will gravitate out of the team.
ठीक है, ठीक है. I'll just quickly share my screen and show you this. ये वाला इमेज देखो. तो दिस वाज फ्रॉम द लास्ट मैच. ठीक है. तो हाउ इज दिस नॉट गिवन आउटसाइड? मतलब आउट ऑफ प्ले तो ये चला गया है, राइट? आप लोगों को कुछ अलग दिख रहा है क्या?
I'm not gonna say anything. I can't.
How
comment on
is this
situation, man.
still deemed to be in play? That is beyond me.
इसका कोई टॉप व्यू है क्या? मतलब what I have heard is what they do is they do a top view,
देख
and उसमें अगर
ये वाला देख, इसको और जूम इन करके वो कट. तो बॉल इज
वो भी नहीं,
क्लियरली
मतलब
आउट ऑफ प्ले.
I understand it has to be from that defender का ऊपर का. देख सर के ऊपर से अगर देखो ना, अगर थोड़ा भी पार्ट लाइन का is what I've heard. That's how they see it. They see it from top.
Yeah.
अगर वो दिखता है ना, like the player's head or something.
I actually have a question for Divyansh. Do you think Arsenal deserved to win that game? The game they played against you?
No, I definitely don't think they deserve to win. A draw would have been a good. Like, it's not like Arsenal were creating a lot.
A nil-nil draw.
Yeah,
nil-nil
nil-nil draw
was
No, but if a
But
team
don't you think
deserves to win that
Newcastle
night,
got
it was easy.
But don't you think
Like the
Newcastle
team-
got like crazy chances in the first half?
Yeah.
Like,
If
Yeah,
a
yeah,
team
yeah.
deserved to win that night, it was Newcastle. So
I think-
that way,
I think so. I think Newcastle were playing very well. I just feel, just to go back to that, the screen that he shared.
Yeah.
How VR works is, what the logic they were saying is, although that is it is very much in Arsenal's favor, the decision is just, they were trying to say, like Tribertsa said, it's not 100%, like you don't have a conclusive evidence. Like if you had it from the top, then you can say that it is conclusive. At this moment, they were just trying to argue that it's not conclusive, but still, like, yeah, we suffered. I also felt like the Joe Linton push was also very.
Yes,
it was
yes.
very.
So,
But again, they said the referee on field has said that it's not a foul.
not a foul. Yeah.
So this VAR thing is, it's very, very complicated.
They keep on fucking up यार. Almost all the time. Last year भी मतलब we just got a couple of apologies from VAR कि हाँ भाई गलती हो गया करके. बट हो गया ना, तो हम लोग का तो पॉइंट गया ना, तो मोमेंटम भी गया. फर्स्ट लॉस.
But at this point, out why don't they use the same thing as the goal line technology for this? Just a question. I am also not sure. I'm
They
asking.
do, but it depends on the stadium's infrastructure. So what they were saying is, Newcastle they didn't have that. So this is the best they had. And out of this, they could not conclusively say that 100% the ball was out. So that's why they stuck with the on-field decision. That was their logic.
आर्सेनल फैन को पूछते हैं, ठीक है, प्ले बाय प्लेयर. दिव्यांश, आई विल गिव यू द नेम्स. तेरे को बोलना है कीप या सेल, ठीक है? Okay, we'll start with you. ESR.
ESR, I would keep him at least till the end of the season. Yeah.
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, I would keep him as mascot.
David Raya.
David Raya, I would keep him till the end of the season.
Fabio Vieira.
Fabio Vieira, I think we would consider selling him in January. He's not featuring, I think, or loaning him.
Sambi Lokonga.
फैमिली लोगों का सेल टाइम आ गया. हाँ, definitely sell.
जैकोब क्यूवियर.
No, keep him. I think he's a good squad player. जब भी आता, he does well.
ट्रोसार्ड.
Keep him, definitely. Very good player.
जिनचेंको.
Keep.
बेन वाइट.
Keep.
रैमस्टेल.
I would sell him. If we can get money for him, we would sell him, yeah.
सलीबा.
Till his price is high. Definitely keep.
Okay. जॉर्जिनियो.
Jorginho, sell for free if possible.
Oh, all right. Eddie Nketiah.
I'll keep him. Yeah.
Eddie Nketiah will keep. Okay.
I'll keep him because the position, I'll just explain, because what he does, if you find a better striker, he will want to play every time. So for what he does, he's the perfect squad player.
All right. All right. And Reece Nelson.
I think Reece Nelson, if they're not going to, feature him as much, like Shibatsa said, I think it's better to sell him and cash on him. Like, what's the point on having? It's a young player. You want him to do well. No point to keep him on the bench. Maybe his career will do well somewhere else.
Saka.
Saka, blackmail him and keep him at no cost.
अच्छा मान लो लिवरपूल आया या फिर मैड्रिड आया एंड 200-300 मिलियन फेंक रहा है. Would you sell him?
लिवरपूल तो दे ही नहीं सकता वो. Wrong example.
नहीं, still hypothetically speaking, मतलब मान लो रियल मैड्रिड आया.
Hypothetically, Liverpool is not in that. So
he's
maybe
been-
Man City or Real Madrid.
He's been touted as a साला का replacement ना, future replacement for
हाँ,
Salah.
they were also linked with Jude Bellingham ना. They couldn't afford.
हुआ नहीं, कैसेडो भी नहीं हुआ, वो भी नहीं हुआ.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
Martinelli.
think one club, if they say they're buying a player, you're sure they're not buying. That's United. If they say they're buying a player, he will move somewhere, but he is not.
Right.
Yeah.
Last दो player हैं.
हाँ.
Gabriel Jesus
I'll keep him. Yeah, very good player.
और Gabriel Martinelli.
Again, brilliant player. Keep him.
Right.
Okay. So what we want to know here is how do you see Arsenal doing in Champions League and in the league, and how do they differentiate it, and what's the road ahead in a fan's mind at least? So if you guys could just share your views, Divyansh and Vivek.
Okay. So for me personally, I would prefer, like, if we can, if given the choice, I would prefer if we could win the league as compared to the Champions League. I feel squad-wise, we do have a good squad where we can challenge on both fronts. But when we come to that, April-March stage, and then if let's say we are able to get to the Champions League quarterfinals, semi-finals, it would depend on what players are available to be able to play in those matches. And if given the choice, I would prefer the Premier League. Save all our big players for the Premier League and go for it.
तेरे को क्या लगता है कि आर्सेनल कहाँ फिनिश करने वाला है लीग में? Realistically.
Yeah.
By the current form.
Yeah, obviously we will, as fans, want them to win. ना? तो हम लोग तो चाहेंगे कि जीते करके.
I would always back my team, but I just feel it's so hard to, like, Man City is just so like they don't give you anything, and Arsenal, although I can see them improving, you just have to be too good to beat Man City.
एक इंच भी नहीं देते बाबा. City
एक इंच भी
नहीं
नहीं
देता.
देता. Exactly. So they're too good. So I'll still go with first place. I'll always back my team.
My guy. मेरे को पर्सनली लगता है कि आर्सेनल विल फिनिश.
इसका इंस्टाग्राम रील मत बनाना.
मेरे को लगता है कि आर्सेनल विल फिनिश थर्ड लीग में.
Third.
या
आर्सेनल जर्सी उतार के बात कर.
मेरे को लगता है कि मतलब स्क्वाड डेप्थ इतना है नहीं, स्पेशली अभी थॉमस पार्टे आउट है एंड टिम्बर वाज सपोज्ड टू बी अ बिग थिंग फॉर अस दिस ईयर, तो वो भी नहीं खेल रहा है. काई हावर्ट्ज इज नॉट क्लिकिंग. ओडेगार्ड अभी नेक्स्ट 2 गेम के लिए भी आई थिंक ही इज आल्सो आउट. साका इज गेटिंग बर्न्ट आउट. हेजूस पता नहीं 1 गेम खेलता है फिर 3 गेम इंजर्ड रहता है, तो मेरे को वो ठीक नहीं लग रहा है स्क्वाड डेप्थ वाइज.
Yeah, I just feel even despite that, they're still in and about, like, if you remember the season of Liverpool champion and they just completely, drifted off. So Arsenal, as long as they're in the thereabouts, I still feel unke paas. Like when they beat, I thought it was very impressive, Sevilla ko away and at home. I don't think Sevilla is a very easy team that you can just walk over. So
but Sevilla is not doing well in the league. तो हम लोग
They're not well in the
जब खेले ना उनके साथ, तो बाय दैट टाइम दे वर ऑन अ लूजिंग स्ट्रीक, मतलब लगातार मैच पे मैच हार रहे थे, तो दे आर नॉट डूइंग
नहीं
दैट
वो
वेल.
होता है, वो होता है, बट यूरोप में some teams, although they might not be doing well in the league,
They say
sometimes when they come
form
out
goes
to
out of the
the
window when it comes to Europe.
yeah,
Yeah.
they play amazing. So,
Yeah,
but
you see
both
the
those
same for
games I
Madrid
saw,
also.
Arsenal was very good, very dominant, like
Yeah.
really very, very dominant.
I think
It was like watching Man City almost.
Yeah, because they had a free-flowing goal system. I think they scored some 8 or 9 goals in the last 4 games. I think so. I think that is what is missing in EPL, and maybe the quality of opposition. I think it was Lens, PSV, and Sevilla. So I think it's still
Against
too
Lens we
early to
lost, by the way.
decide.
हम लोग हारे
Yeah,
Lens से.
Lens you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's too early to even take a call in Champions League with the vacuum in the midfield area, which is very, very important when it comes to what you call Champions League matches. When it's going to be knockouts, it's going to be even more difficult, where most of the battles are won in the midfield. And I think Divyan said keep Jesus and Nketiah. If you have to be very, very critical, if you really want to look at Champions League, I think you'll have to get one solid striker. Okay, and if you ask me, I would say sell Jesus. He's good. He's good, but he's not good enough to get you those magnificent goals in front of Champions League sides. So he might still do that magic here in EPL, but I don't think so. He's going to do that.
I think Jesus का impact हो गया. The impact of Jesus was last year.
He's good to play the second striker.
Yeah.
He's good to play the second striker, probably in the right wing, and not the guy who's going to lead your side to Champions League glory. So वो एक piece है. Midfield का 3 का आपने जो बोला है, whatever you've said, party is not there. If there's no party, then I think Arsenal will not have a party for sure in terms of Champions League or EPL. So midfield and ये striker वाला thing में, if there's some magic that happens in January, then they can do it. Now they've anyways qualified for Champions League for next round for sure. But after that is the real case. EPL, definitely they could be second or third, not number 1 for sure.
Okay, and CL में where do you see them finishing?
Again, it depends on the opposition that they're going to play after this.
Prediction wise?
No, but I watched prediction. No, I don't see them qualifying to semi-finals.
Really?
That's for sure. Yeah, they won't fall. You're talking about top 4 teams. They're not the top 4 in Europe right now. Please, if you see Bayer Leverkusen, they are better. If you ask me, Bayern Munich. Okay, they're
with Harry Kane as well.
But the thing is, last time when Arsenal played Bayern Munich in Champions League final, it was really close. We only lost 10-2.
No, I understand, but I'm saying in the current form, I'm saying
you're absolutely right. I agree with you. They are on another level. Bayern Munich.
You talk about Liverpool, Barcelona. I'm not sure, but yeah, Man City for sure. So where is the place? I don't see top 4 for sure. Semi-final.
They're the big boys. Yeah.
So my idea of
quarterfinals for sure.
Yeah, my idea of a good season for Arsenal would be कि challenge करे title के लिए at least. नहीं finish तो मतलब जीतेगा तो नहीं, but I wish कि वो जीते obviously. But realistically मुझे क्या लगता है इसकी they will finish second या third and Liverpool might just slightly get past them league में and Champions League में if we reach the semis that will be a good season for me at least this year.
But the one thing, a couple of people said Liverpool, didn't they just draw with Luton or something just recently?
Last match, that was
you're going for you should be winning against Luton, like seriously.
Yeah, but
I think उनका भी rebuilding चल रहा है ना कि they sold almost आधा midfield उन्होंने let go कर दिया ना.
They also won that 9-man match, right? They came back and they scored like Darwin.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, when you're challenging Man City, like it's like even a draw is like you have lost.
Makes sense. Yeah. Arman, देखो क्या लगता है?
I think teams will have slip-ups. It's not really an issue. I think Liverpool might have the chance of winning the league. I think they might finish over Man City.
इसका कर दो आप shots.
Yeah, why not? I back Liverpool actually. I think they have the depth.
You're backing Liverpool, you're not backing Spurs. Why top of the
league? I wanted to know where do you think Spurs will be?
No, I think after the injuries, I think maybe top 6. I can't really say anything.
Top 6?
I think
top 6.
Yeah. Fifth place, I think, this season. Because most of our players are out till January, and in December, I think counting the games this month and December, there are totally 11 games left. So we have to play 11 games without Madison, without Van der Ven, without what we say, most of our and without Richarlison, most of our key players are out. So a top 6 finish is most realistic, I would say.
Yeah, I think
coming
with
back
Arman
to
is very practical. He's a very practical fan. He keeps the emotions at the side. So our emotions take over. We still say, oh, I think it's going to win, finish second, third. Deep inside, critically, we should evaluate it'll be fourth or
यार
fifth or
अरमान का
something.
पहला एपिसोड है, मैं कुछ बोलना नहीं चाहता हूँ, लेकिन सेकंड थर्ड वाले मैं चालू करूंगा, तो अभी उसको लाइटली लेते हैं. ठीक है.
At that point, Arman said,
coming, just one
So,
second, guys. Just coming back to Liverpool, I think this season the reason why they can win the league is because they're in the Europa League, and till now they've not been taking the league seriously. They lost to, I think, Toulouse last week. Yeah, they lost to them, and they've been resting most of their players. Like Salah's been rested, Nunes has been rested, Diaz.
Everybody's rested.
Yeah, mostly everyone's rested, and so I don't think the fatigue for those players has really kicked in. So they can go into second gear. Actually.
Klopp is smart in that way. He's actually rested all these players because considering he's not in favor of Europa League, I think he's asked the
He's
B team to
targeting
actually
the
play.
domestic league. Yeah.